Hello! Welcome to Game Over Gerkinman. This is Gerkinman. We're in Xizor's palace. We got 3 people with us this week! Who are you?
I'm Kamura. I make animations and stuff.
I'm Mark. I make stuff and animations.
Ooh.
Hi, my name's Mark. I make... Wait.
No,
Damn it, I read the wrong script.
Ah. Well,
That's
we have to
not
start
right.
all
I'm
over, so we
sidetracked.
just keep going?
Just keep going.
I was here
Fixing
last
post.
time. We were talking about Star Wars.
That's
Mark's
right.
Gonna tell us about the chronologically.
Yeah, we promised the
Yes.
the story behind this game and where it fits into the series about 7 episodes
Yes.
ago, and then completely forgot to do it.
Forgot
So
about
Mark, tell us what this thing is, the multimedia side and all that good stuff.
So we've mentioned that this is a multimedia project that was.
You make it
developed
sound
in
like a
the
school
late-
assignment.
It really was. It is multi different types
Yes.
of media. It literally is multimedia.
PowerPoint.
It was a PowerPoint. It was also a it was a game. It was a book. It was a comic.
It was a soundtrack.
graphic novel.
It was a soundtrack to the
Um,
graphic novel.
Soundtrack, toys, etc. This was made in the mid to late 90s.
1995 and 96.
Yeah, 95, 96. This came out. This was a launch title, so this was probably 96 for the game. All the different parts of the story are every different media is a little different, tells a different part of the story. It's not all identical. This takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. In the game, it starts off with you during the Battle of Hoth. In the book, I know it starts by it starts after that point, but it mentions the Battle of Hoth. The game, spoiler alert, does end with the last cutscene. Luke and Wedge and Leia and Chewbacca are all saying, "Let's go get Han," and so that pretty much starts off the whole rescuing Han from Jabba the Hutt. And that's pretty much the chronology. It's this little midquel, if you will.
Mid-cool.
I believe that's
I like
correct.
that. It is the correct
And
term.
for anybody who's interested, Xizor, the I guess the main antagonist, that's the guy we're going after, right?
Yep.
This is kind of his rise, because post Battle of Hoth is really when he kind of comes up, and his whole motive is to kind of take Vader's place, in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
One of the-
it's a
yeah.
really interesting subplot that goes on in the extended universe.
One of the things with the Sith is that there's never more than 2 Sith, because the idea behind it is that if
Right.
there are 3, there's going to be a master and I guess 2 apprentices, and then the apprentice will always kill the master, so he becomes the new master, and then has his other apprentice. So it's sort of a
Yeah.
corruption thing,
And
which
she's-
does really work
yeah.
with the characters. Yeah.
I was gonna say Xizor doesn't really have, as far as I know, he's not a adept as far as force.
No, he just
force-
doesn't need to be because he's rich.
He's more of just.
Yeah.
I don't think he really he doesn't really like Vader, from what I've been reading about him. So, and I don't know a whole lot about it other than some research I've done recently. But it's interesting stuff to be sure.
I wonder if anyone wonders why this game wasn't available on the PlayStation. Here's some little Here's some little interesting facts that we learned about the game. Nintendo published it, which I didn't realize after all these years, which I guess explains why it was a launch title. But even Mr. Miyamoto had his say on the game a little bit.
According to Wikipedia. And
According to
Wikipedia is
Wikipedia,
always right.
that's
yeah.
true. Wikipedia wouldn't lie to us about Mr. God of Gaming, so
Yes.
you know it's true. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
he said that he wanted Randar to be more animated, because I mean, if Nintendo was publishing it and Miyamoto was the one behind the stick on the Nintendo 64 from memory, he'd want the game to show off the 64 as best it could. So I can imagine him saying make it more animated to make this system seem more impressive.
Definitely, and I think it said that he wanted more idle animation in there, so it's just not a static image,
Yeah,
which
but
is nice.
it is
So wait,
interesting because
so
Nintendo...
we're in the palace right now. Hold on a second. We're in the palace right now,
The
right?
texturing is very cool.
Yeah, this is the ugliest palace
Xizor's
ever. There's no
palace.
There's a statue.
pretty
There's no
shitty.
glorious
I'm like, this
windows.
texturing is really cool. It is like so ugly.
Actually, this is what my bedroom looks like. So oh yeah,
I have a race car bed in my bedroom.
I sleep on the floor.
lucky. I bet you go fast at night.
Gotta
No, it doesn't have gas.
Oh.
Damn it! It's just for looks. It's just to impress.
It was weird though,
No,
like
it's a-
Nintendo published Rogue Squadron as well, didn't they? Because
yeah,
Factor
might have.
5 was a second party developer, from memory, and they got sold off just like Rare did.
I wonder
Or
if
they became
Miyamoto
third
is
party,
a
and that's why they went
fan
to
of Star
Sony.
Wars. Excuse me.
I
I wouldn't doubt it.
No.
Yamato likes cool things. He likes Star Wars. He liked the old Star Wars.
They did make Star Fox, though, and that's essentially
true.
a Star Wars inspired universe.
That's it.
Yeah.
Did you know there was an Atari game called Star Fox?
Yes, I've read this before. It was I believe there's the copyright in England or in the UK.
That's why over
for
there it was
another
called
game.
Lilac Wars. It was called Lilac Wars here
Yes.
too.
We
But-
call it Star Fox because we're America.
America.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was called.
Stage
Lilac
complete.
Wars,
That was
actually.
quick. Oh,
Yeah.
we're only
Oh,
halfway
it's
done.
stages. Yeah, because some levels have stages. Because I guess it has to load more geometry or something.
Yeah.
It's gotta
The
load
same
all those sharp
textures
edges.
on the
Yeah.
backgrounds again.
It's got to load all those same textures. This really is an ugly palace. You're right. This is like I would feel very lonely if I lived here. That always really confused me. You hit a switch and then it opens up a little vent above the elevator that you could fly into.
Well, we
With-
wouldn't want to
with
make it too
bullets.
easy for you.
Who the fuck designed this place though? Was he an
Yeah,
idiot?
you're supposed to be going through, I guess, the back areas now. I don't know why
Yeah.
there are guns and robots in here that have.
Well, that's security
weapons.
because he knows he's got a lot of power and the people are going to want to take it from him.
Well, why does the security suck? Oh, you get a disruptor.
Because I'm playing it on easy.
Oh, don't you get thermal detonators in this game?
No, there's no thermal
Oh, it's a
detonators.
giant cog.
There's no grenade equivalent in this game.
Oh, okay. What game am I thinking of that had a thermal detonator that you just use and it blows up a bunch of stuff on the screen? It must have been another story.
Jedi Outcast, you could throw thermal detonators.
I don't think I played that one though, so
You should download it because it's like $2 and it's really good.
Oh, okay.
Outcast was one that I should play through because I've heard a lot of really great things.
Yeah,
about that
Outcast. The
game.
first few levels are all first-person shooter based without a lightsaber, and they're pretty dull. But then as soon as you get the lightsaber, that game is a lot of fun. You get the
Again,
force
we
powers.
Go back to talking about how Star Wars games with lightsabers, Star Wars games without lightsabers.
Well,
Also
that
have-
game has like a nice happy balance. It's a first-person shooter, and you can use a lightsaber if you choose. But it uses the lightsaber well. It's not like fucking Force Unleashed where it's like God of War. It's still very much a first-person combat focused use of the lightsaber. Like it's intelligent and it's slow. You're not a
I'm curious-
ninja.
I'm curious, just go around here with the group.
Sure.
What kind of if you had to talk about a Star Wars game that what would the best Star Wars game that you could ever play include? What kind of gameplay? What kind of plot are we talking? What chronologically where does it fall? Mark, you're
This
the
is a good
guy
question.
right now.
Let's-
start.
That's a good question. Let's see. As far as gameplay goes, I would want something that can work. It fits in the universe. It doesn't necessarily tie into like the major movies or anything. It would take place definitely during the original series era, post Battle of. It's the storyline, sort of like how this is this side thing, and it
Somewhere in
only
the 4
touches
and
upon
5,
it. Yeah,
4, 5, 6.
definitely. Yeah. I would definitely want to have a lot of. I love piloting stuff. I always loved the spaceships when I was younger. So give me something where I can do a
Sure.
lot of dogfights.
Sure.
Or so more vehicle-based stuff. As far as like weapons, if I would have to do like a lightsaber thing, the only thing I would want to do with lightsaber is probably like lightsaber fights that would be done well, and maybe deflecting bullets or laser.
That's
blasts.
what
You could
Jedi
do,
Outcast does
yeah,
so well.
dueling system
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, dueling
Hey,
system
that's
rather than
cool.
just and I think that would be it for me. That's my wish list. Who's next?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Moving on around, Dylan.
They already made that game. It's called Star Wars Poderosa.
Hey, look, it's a great game. You can't argue with that.
I don't know.
It's
It's just that there's
Yeah.
at least 80 Star Wars games by now, and if you don't have a favorite
Yeah,
by this
right.
point, then just give up.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
they
there's
should
so
give
much
up.
variety and all that. So if you like, Jedi stuff, go play the Jedi games. If you don't play the Jedi games. Go play Boba Fett, Bounty Hunter, or whatever.
No, don't play Boba Fett Bounty Hunter.
Sure. Boba Fett, man.
What about
That-
what about you, Dan?
They already made it. It was called between Rogue Squadron and Rogue Leader. I'm set. I'd like more of that. Just let me play through all the iconic bits from the movie, from the old movies, and the spin-off stuff. I don't care about the prequel shit because I don't like the ship designs in the prequels. I don't like everything shiny and clean. I like the crusty, rusty look.
You don't like
universe.
I liked
custom ship, which kind of looked like a pod racer, but not.
Just give me the old used universe and let me just let me fly around. That's it. That's all I want. The on foot stuff. That's what the movies are for.
Yeah. So what about you, Jordan?
Yeah.
Well, for me personally, I have to say that my best experience was, in fact, Star Wars Galaxies, because you get to create your own character. It's based in whatever race you want to play in the universe. So you've got this whole extended universe to mess around in, to create your own, like try to build your own piece of the lore, you know. Then you're plugged into a system that's built in the same, like Mark was saying, the time frame of 4, 5, and 6, which is when Galaxies was. And then you have all the planets to explore. Now, what was great was when they added a couple expansions, you did have the dogfighting aspect, you had all this other stuff. Ooh. And what I'd like to see is you take those elements again, you develop a Star Wars MMO that's a sandbox MMO that allows you, the player, because let's face it, Star Wars, the Star Wars universe is a creative bunch of people that not only love the canon storylines, but they love the sub-universe. They love the fiction. They love the extended universe, all of that stuff. And so I'd love to see a sandbox MMO that allowed the players, like what's coming up with EverQuest next, to really like build some extra, like, you know, build their own levels, build their own experiences, build their own dogfights, build their own kind of like a Star Fox type.
It's kind of like if they had Eve in a Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
No, fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of games that allow the player base to really expand upon the game itself. So to see, like, for example, EverQuest Next, and I know I'm jumping out of stuff, but that game is really trying to push forward to an MMO that allows the players to kind of create the content. I don't know if you guys have played the recent release of the free MMO, Neverwinter. It's a Dungeons and Dragons inspired, Forgotten Realms based MMO, and they encourage the players to build these like adventure scenarios that people can not only rate, and it's kind of like social media type stuff within a game. So it's really interesting stuff. I'd love to see a Star Wars game like that allowed the players to kind of create their own sub-universe on their server. You know, not necessarily sell their content, but like put it out there so people could rate it, kind of like a video, and then play through that. And it's really neat stuff. So I think we're looking at a future in games. I'd really like to see Star Wars jump on the board here, but that's my
that would be cool.
That's the end of the level.
Ew.
That does sound pretty cool. Right? And also, I just like to add, Battlefront 3 could be very cool. I've got my fingers crossed for that. If
that was indifferent to Battlefront.
You put it in the hands of DICE when EA isn't being dicks with them. It could be in for something special. We'll see how it goes. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. If you liked our fascinating, actually informative episode today, then let us know in the comments below. Sorry it took so long for us to actually give you some information, but that's the way these things go sometimes. Join us next time as we finish this game. We're going to blow up a space station. It's going to be spectacular. You don't want to miss it, so be sure to join us then.